Ever watch your money just sort of disappear?
Uh-huh.
Do you constantly wonder where it actually went?
Yeah, it's a common feeling.
Are you maybe struggling to save, struggling with spending?
Absolutely. Lots of people are.
Well, today we're going to unlock a massive secret for you.
It's a big one.
It's not just about choosing cash or credit. That's not the whole story.
Not at all. It's really about understanding the hidden psychology behind them.
Exactly. This deep dive reveals that power. You'll learn when to use each one wisely.
And that's key. Knowing when.
This dramatically boosts your financial control. We've really dug into the research here.
We have. Forget the sort of generic money advice you always hear.
Yeah, this is different. Our insights are, well, we think they're pretty unique and definitely tested.
We try to fill the gaps, the things other creators might miss.
This is practical stuff, not just theory floating around.
Real strategies you can use.
This deep dive helps you master your money by choosing the best payment method.
For your specific situations, every single time.
Now, you might be thinking, is this just another finance talk?
And we get that, but no. Absolutely not. It's different.
We're going to show you some hidden financial traps, things you might be falling into.
And also unexpected advantages you might be missing out on.
You'll get a real working strategy from this.
One that actually works in the real world.
We'll even reveal the single biggest mental shift.
Yeah, this one idea. It could really change everything for your finances.
So keep listening. I think you'll be surprised.
You really might never look at payments the same way again.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. You know that feeling, right? When you swipe a card, tap your phone, whatever, and the money just seems to vanish into thin air.
Yeah, it's almost too easy.
Invisible.
But then you pull out actual cash, physical bills, and handing them over, it suddenly feels so real. Almost, painful sometimes.
Exactly. That's not just you. There's a real psychology at play there.
So what is it? What's actually going on in our heads? Well, the core insight here is this powerful psychological thing called the pain of paying. It sounds simple, but it's huge.
Pain of paying.
Okay, when you hand over physical cash, you literally see it leave your hands. It's tangible. This creates a very real sense of loss. And that triggers a kind of psychological friction. It makes you pause, makes you think twice before you actually spend it.
Right, whereas swiping a card.
Swiping a card or tapping, it just abstracts that pain. It feels effortless, almost disconnected from the actual spending. The feeling of loss is delayed, maybe until you see your statement later.
So that little ouch moment I get with cash isn't just me being weird, it's like a built-in mental speed bump. That really clicks with, my own struggles sometimes with impulse buys. It really does feel like the card removes all the friction.
Precisely. And that difference in perception, it plays a huge role in our money habits. Cash creates a very natural, undeniable spending limit.
Because you can only spend what you've got in your pocket.
Exactly. If you walk into a store with only $50 cash, well, you can only spend $50. It's a hard stop.
Yeah.
And study after study shows people generally spend less when they use cash. They just feel a stronger emotional connection to that physical money.
Ah, interesting.
Whereas card payments, by removing that immediate psychological pain, they make those impulse purchases far more common. It's a key reason why many people struggle with overspending and don't even fully realize why it's happening.
Okay, that makes total sense for controlling day-to-day spending, groceries, coffee, that kind of thing. But let's be real, cash isn't always the best tool, right? I mean, sometimes it's just not practical.
Absolutely not.
And this is where it gets really interesting, I think. Because credit cards, they aren't just tools for overspending, despite the bad rap they sometimes get. They can be this powerhouse of advantages, but only if you know how to use them right.
That's a crucial point. What's fascinating here is credit cards offer this incredible level of security and financial building blocks that cash just can't compete with.
Okay, like what? Let's start with security.
All right, take fraud protection. This is a big one. With a credit card, your maximum liability for unauthorized charges is typically capped by law at just $50.
Right.
And most major card issuers offer zero liability protection nowadays. So you pay nothing if your card's used fraudulently.
Okay, and debit cards.
Now, compare that to a debit card. While it feels like cash, the money comes straight from your account. If there's fraud and you don't report it really quickly, like within 2 business days, your liability can jump to $500. Wait longer, and you could be responsible for everything.
Wow, okay, that's a huge difference.
It is. Plus, you can easily freeze a credit card instantly if it's lost or stolen, stopping anyone from using it. And their anti-fraud systems are pretty sophisticated, constantly looking for unusual transactions, weird locations, purchase patterns, large amounts.
Yeah, sometimes too sophisticated, they decline my perfectly normal purchase.
Yeah, that can happen. But it's usually a sign the system is working to protect you, alerting you if your card might be compromised.
So it's really about peace of mind then, not just spending power. I always kind of knew credit cards were safer than debit, but seeing the specifics laid out like that, it really makes it much clearer why.
Definitely.
And it's not just fraud, right? I know they often come with other protections too.
Absolutely. Many credit cards offer purchase protection. So if you buy something with a card and it gets damaged or stolen within a certain time frame, like 90 days, the card issuer might cover the cost to repair or replace it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and some offer extended warranties on products beyond the manufacturer's warranty, or price protection. If the price of something you bought drops soon after, you might get the difference refunded. Even return protection if a store has a strict no-return policy.
That's actually amazing. I probably have cards with those benefits and don't even realize it.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
And for travelers, some cards are loaded with perks. Travel insurance, rental car insurance, often it's secondary insurance, but it can still save you a lot of money and hassle. It's worth checking your card's benefits guide.
Okay, so it's like this built-in safety net for your wallet and the stuff you buy. And then, of course, the big one. The reason so many people get a credit card in the first place. Building credit. That's essential, isn't it?
Well, absolutely critical, especially for your long-term financial health. Building a good credit score is essential if you ever want to make major purchases, like buying a house or a car.
Or even renting an apartment sometimes.
Exactly. Or getting certain jobs, even getting better insurance rates, and timely monthly payments on your debts, including credit cards. That's the single biggest factor influencing your credit score.
So even just using a card for small things and paying it off helps.
Definitely. Even if you only charge a few regular expenses like your phone bill or gas, and you pay the balance off in full and on time every single month, you're actively building a positive payment history, which boosts your credit rating. Plus, having different types of credit, like credit cards alongside loans, contributes to your credit mix, which actually accounts for about 10% of your FICO score. And the good news is, credit cards are pretty accessible. Even if you have limited credit history, you can often start with things like store cards, gas cards, or a secured credit card.
Right, right. And let's not forget the shiny stuff, the rewards, the cash back, the points, the travel miles. That's often the big lure, isn't it? Gets people interested.
It really is. And it can be genuinely valuable if managed correctly. Many cards offer pretty lucrative incentives. Reward points you can redeem for travel or merchandise, or just straight cash back on your purchases.
Yeah, I see offers all the time.
You can find cards giving anywhere from, say, 3% to even 6% back in specific spending categories like groceries or gas, or maybe a flat 1.5% or 2% back on absolutely everything.
Which can add up.
It definitely can. And then there are those tempting welcome bonuses: spend X amount in the first few months, get Y amount back, or a bunch of points.
Always need to read the fine print on those, though.
Always. You need to make sure the required spending aligns with your normal habits. Otherwise, you're spending extra just to get the bonus, which defeats the purpose. And factor in any annual fees the card might have. But used wisely, rewards are like getting a small discount on everything you buy.
Plus, there's that grace period thing, right?
Yes, another key benefit. If you pay your statement balance in full by the due date each month, you typically get a grace period, usually 21 to 30 days after the statement closes, where you don't pay any interest on those purchases.
Yeah.
You're essentially getting a short-term, interest-free loan.
So you can defer payment a bit.
Exactly. And of course, they're incredibly convenient for online shopping, making big purchases where carrying cash is impractical, or for emergencies. You're initially spending the bank's money, not your own immediate cash flow.
Okay, so credit cards clearly offer some incredible safety nets, potential rewards, credit building power. But let's swing back. What about that age-old tool, the one that's often overlooked when we talk about financial discipline? Just plain old physical cash. When does the sheer simplicity of cash actually become your secret weapon? Especially if you're trying to really nail down a budget or tackle existing debt.
Yeah, this raises a really important question, especially for anyone feeling like their spending's a bit out of control. When does old school cash actually beat plastic?
Sure.
Well, first and foremost, cash is just a powerful, undeniable tool for budget control and debt reduction.
How so, practically?
It literally forces you to stick to a budget.
Yeah.
You might have heard of the envelope method.
Oh yeah, Dave Ramsey talks about that a lot.
Exactly. It's a classic for a reason. You allocate a specific amount of physical cash into different envelopes for your spending categories: groceries, entertainment, clothes, whatever. And once the cash in an envelope is gone,
It's gone. No more spending in that category.
it's gone. That's it. You can only spend what you physically have in front of you.
Yeah.
It basically eliminates overspending and impulse buys in those areas because there's no swiping your way past the limit.
So it's really about forcing that pain of paying, that sense of loss we talked about earlier, onto every single purchase. There's no wiggle room.
Exactly. And crucially, with cash, there are no interest charges building up, no late fees if you forget a payment, no annual fees just for having the ability to spend.
Which can be huge with credit cards if you carry a balance.
Massive. If you're already carrying a large credit card balance, switching to cash for your new day-to-day purchases stops you from digging a deeper hole. It helps you focus on paying down that existing debt faster. Considering the average interest rate on credit card balances was hovering around, 22–23% as of mid-2024.
Ouch! Yeah.
Avoiding adding new charges at those kinds of rates is a massive cost saving in itself, let alone potential penalty APRs near 30% if you miss payments.
And are there other ways cash saves you money? Like actual discounts beyond just avoiding interest and fees?
Yes, sometimes there are direct savings. You might run into convenience fees if you try to pay for things like utilities, income taxes, or maybe car registration using a credit or debit card. Often you can avoid those fees by paying with cash, or sometimes a check or a direct bank transfer.
Okay.
And maybe more visibly, some merchants, especially smaller businesses or gas stations, actually offer a discount if you pay with cash.
Right. I've seen that at the pump sometimes. Cash price versus credit price.
Exactly. It might save you anywhere from 1% to maybe 4% typically. And the reason is simple. They get to avoid the processing fees that card companies charge them on every transaction. So with cash, the price you see is the final price you pay. No hidden interest compounding later.
That's a smart way to grab a few extra savings. But, okay, when we say cash, it can mean a few things these days, right? It's not just paper money.
That's true. While we primarily think of physical bills and coins, the concept of paying with your own money now can also loosely include things like debit cards, writing a check, or using electronic payments directly from your bank account, like Zelle or Venmo sometimes.
So it offers some versatility.
It does. You can pay almost anywhere with some form of cash. But there are caveats. Not all forms are universally accepted. Good luck paying with a personal check in most stores today.
Yeah, probably not.
And physical cash has its own challenges. Carrying large amounts isn't safe or convenient. If you lose it, it's usually gone for good. You need to make trips to the bank or ATM, maybe worry about having small bills for exact change.
True.
But on the flip side, for privacy, physical cash leaves absolutely no digital trail. For some people, that's still a significant advantage.
Okay, so we've got the psychology of cash making spending feel real, and the sort of superpower benefits of credit cards, security, rewards, credit building. But what about debit cards? You mentioned them briefly. They feel like cash, but they aren't quite. Where do they really fit in this whole puzzle?
Yeah, debit cards are interesting. They're incredibly common, and like you said, they often feel similar to cash in practice because you are spending your own money directly from your bank account. The transaction happens, the money's gone. Instantly. The key difference from credit cards, though, is that they usually come with zero direct rewards or benefits, like points or cash back. You're spending your own money right now with usually no added perks.
So your actual bank balance takes the hit immediately, which I guess could be good for some people who really want that instant feedback.
Exactly. For someone who genuinely struggles with the temptation of credit, who might overspend easily if they don't see the money leave immediately, a debit card can be a useful tool. It forces that immediate awareness of your actual balance.
But you mentioned the fraud risk earlier.
Right. That's the big drawback compared to credit cards. While there are protections, generally your liability for fraudulent transactions on a debit card can be much higher if you don't spot it and report it very quickly. The money is gone from your account first, and you have to fight to get it back.
Whereas with credit, it's the bank's money first.
Correct. Plus, with debit cards, there's always that lurking risk of overdraft charges if you aren't meticulous about tracking your balance, spend more than you have, and bam, hefty fees. Credit cards generally avoid that specific problem since you're borrowing.
Okay, this is great. We've really broken down the pros, the cons, the feelings, the features of each. Cash, credit, debit. So the big question then is, what does this all mean for you listening? How do we actually put this all together? How do we practically implement this to get a real grip on our money? Because that's what really matters, right?
Absolutely. If we connect all these threads, look at the bigger picture. The real power, the most effective approach, it doesn't come from rigidly choosing one payment method and ditching the others.
It's not cash versus credit then.
No, not really. It's about a balanced, strategic approach.
Right.
It's about knowing when to strategically use each tool, cash, credit, even debit, to maximize your financial stability and, importantly, align with your own personal financial goals and habits.
Okay, so break that down. When use cash?
Cash, or maybe debit for some, works incredibly well for those everyday variable expenses. Think groceries, dining out, coffee, entertainment, those small, frequent purchases where you're most likely to overspend without noticing.
Because you feel that psychological pinch more.
Exactly. Using cash for those things builds that spending awareness. It forces mindfulness because you literally see and feel your allocated money dwindling. It prevents those mindless little overspend.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Feel the loss on the small stuff. And then cards, you use those for the bigger things, or where the benefits outweigh the risk of overspending.
Precisely. Credit cards are often ideal for your fixed expenses, things like monthly bills, subscriptions where you might get auto pay discounts, or just convenience. Also for online shopping, where they're often necessary and offer better security. And for large planned purchases or unexpected emergencies.
Places where the convenience, the security, the purchase protection, maybe the rewards, where those things really matter most.
Right. Those benefits truly shine in those situations. So a really crucial strategy here is setting clear spending limits, regardless of the method. For cash, that might mean literally using the envelope method. Allocate a specific cash amount for your weekly discretionary spending. That hard limit prevents unnecessary impulse buys.
So it's a powerful combination. Use the feeling of cash for the small, tempting things where that psychological friction helps you stay mindful. And use the benefits of cards for the fixed costs, the big buys, the online world where security, rewards, and convenience are paramount.
Exactly. And woven through all of this, monitoring is absolutely key. You have to track your spending. Use money management tools, budgeting apps, even just a spreadsheet, whatever works for you. Monitor all your transactions, cash outflows, and card charges.
So you stay aware of where the digital money is going to.
Yes. Ensure your digital spending stays within your budget so you don't rack up unexpected debt. The overarching principle here, the real mental shift, it isn't just about the payment method itself. It's about how well you manage your overall expenses and stick to your financial plan. The key factor is applying the psychological discipline you get from cash spending. Applying that same mindfulness and intentionality to all your spending, even when you're using a card. That's the mindset shift that truly lets you reclaim control. A structured budget and smart financial habits ultimately play a much bigger role in your long-term financial stability than whether you use cash or plastic for a specific purchase.
You know, it's almost ironic when you put it that way, isn't it? In this super digital tap-and-go world we live in, maybe the oldest trick in the financial book, that simple feeling of physical cash leaving your hands, actually becomes our most powerful mental tool for managing all our money.
It really can be.
It's about making smarter, more intentional choices with every dollar, no matter how you spend it. Not just different choices. Leveraging that psychology we talked about right at the start. So, wrapping this up, what does this all mean for your wallet, for your financial future?
We've journeyed through the deep psychology of spending, the really quite incredible protections and potential rewards of credit, and also the surprising simple discipline that cash can bring back into our lives.
And knowledge like this, it's most valuable when it's actually understood and, more importantly, applied. This deep dive, I hope, has shown that there really isn't a single better option overall. But there is a powerful combination, a strategy that's tailored to your individual habits, your goals, your life.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. Given everything you've just heard, what if the most powerful payment method isn't actually plastic or paper at all?
Interesting. What if it's simply a deeply understood budget combined with a new level of self-awareness? Specifically, what if you could consistently apply the psychological insight of cash spending, that mindfulness, that friction, to all your transactions, even when you're tapping a card or clicking buy now?
How would that change things?
Yeah, how much more could you save? How much more control could you gain if you really embrace that mental shift starting today? What's one small change you could make this week, right now, to start transforming your financial habits using these ideas? Think about it.
Definitely something to chew on.
We really hope you found this useful, and we hope you'll join us for another deep dive soon, where we'll uncover more unique, practical insights to help you navigate your world.